Even if you've known for years that you're a projector, I'm going to aim to give you something refreshing and insightful with this video. This is going to be a deep dive for the projector aura types. Now, this is not just for projectors, people who have projectors in their life, which is like everyone. Listen up as well, because it's important that we understand how each other works, because we work differently. And it's less important that we understand how they work and more like we just accept how they work, because we all work differently. So let's get the basics out of the way. The projector strategy is to wait for an invitation. The authority can change. It's either going to be emotional, splenic, ego, self-projected, or mental. Quick moment to say, if you don't know what your body graph looks like, or you don't know what type you are, or you have no idea what I'm talking about, just go to my website. Now, projector is one of 5 types. Here, what I generated, just random dates, is going to be a manifester. Now, if you want to learn more about all this, I have custom human design reports for 20 bucks down here. And it's basically just going to translate all of this information into plain English. The aura of a projector is penetrating. Another way of seeing this is they're absorbing and then they're focusing energy. The idea is that if a projector properly uses their strategy of waiting for an invitation and waiting for recognition, they will be able to manifest their authority in places where it's welcomed, and they will also be able to experience their signature and do what they're here to do, which is guide people. Regarding the strategy, some things you may not have heard about is there's a spectrum of invitations and there's a spectrum of recognition. When someone says something simple like, "Hey, I really like the way you think," that is on the spectrum of recognition. However, it's not an invitation until they say, "What are your thoughts on this? Would you share your thoughts with me?" That's an invitation. If the invitation and the recognition are not present, you are more than likely going to experience some form of bitterness or some form of like being undervalued, regardless of the experience. Whether it's like you're moving into a new place, you're joining a new friend group, you're starting a new job, you're entering into a relationship. Now, these strategies are designed to help us enter into things. When it comes to exiting things, your authority is usually going to let you know when it's time to leave. For instance, if you have the emotional authority, one of the invitations to leave a relationship that sucks, for instance, is if you're constantly in emotional waves and your emotions are constantly being disregarded by your partner. The emotional clarity that will arise is, wow, my partner does not give a flying fish stick about my emotions. That's an invitation to leave. Because there's no recognition and no invitation from your partner, there's no invitation to go deeper with that person. And so the invitation is to leave. The wait for an invitation component is very important though. Many projectors are stuck subconsciously initiating things because they're unwilling to wait. And I made a video before about projectors who think they're going to die waiting for an invitation. You got to be ready to do that, because everything up until that point is just going to be this like sad kind of attempt to get the attention that you think you deserve, but you don't actually deserve, because instead of doing the things that are actually going to make you a proper guide, you're out trying to initiate and try and find someone to validate you and give you love. And it's annoying. You have to be willing to tolerate yourself. Otherwise, no one is going to be willing to tolerate you. Or they're going to be lying. Or they're going to want something from you. It'll be an agenda-driven tolerance, which sucks. So the primary thing that projectors really need to get good at is identifying an invitation. Okay? Someone just talking to you about their emotions and saying like, "Wow, I feel so much better." They did not invite you to help them with their process. Okay? If they say something like, "Hey, I've got a lot going on. Is it okay if I share some things with you?" Like, you can say no. You can say no on the premise of, "Look, I'd love to share some counsel with you, but honestly, it's really energetically draining for me to just listen to you because you do this a lot. And unfortunately, you don't listen to any of my counsel. So I'm not gonna let you air out your baggage in my space. We could do something else, but I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm declining that invitation." One of the best things you can do for yourself as a projector is to decline invitations that do not actually resonate with you. The projector aura is very focused on others. However, there has to be some level of reciprocity. Otherwise, that focus on others becomes obsession with others, becomes obsession with being validated by others, becomes bitterness and suck-ass annoying situation. And now let's just sprinkle some of my favorite like little hacks and tips for projectors. First thing is sleep in your own bed. I don't care if you have a really great relationship. I don't care if you need the person to sleep. If you need the person to sleep, you really need to sleep in your own bed. When we sleep, that is supposed to be time where we are recuperating and regathering, refreshing and regenerating our own energy. When you're sleeping next to somebody else, you're not doing that. If you sleep in the same bed as somebody else every night, okay, just start to dial it back. Spend 1 or 2 nights in your own bed a week and see where that goes. Chances are you're gonna wake up feeling a lot more refreshed and also less bitter towards your partner. 90 minutes is the longest amount of time you should spend on anything. Okay, even if it's something that you love. One of the worst things is taking something that you love and burning yourself out on it just because you're spending too much time investing energy into the thing. After 90 minutes, take a break, maybe lay down, and then come back to it. Tip number 3, give yourself permission to lay down every now and then. Like I said before, 90 minutes is a great work time, and then spend 5-10 minutes just laying down doing nothing. When your body is horizontal, energy moves differently. And when you're horizontal, again, like I said with tip number 1, your body can refresh its energy. You don't need to go into a full-on nap or sleep. Just set a timer for 5 or 10 minutes, lay down, and then come right back up and keep doing your thing. Tip number 4, get really good at being alone. Consciously choose to be alone. Learn not to take anything personally. 70% of the world is generator or manifesting generator, meaning their aura is primarily focused about them. You as a projector having an aura that's primarily focused about others, you're going to look at people and the way they do things and you're going to be like, how selfish. I would never do something like that. Stop comparing yourself to other people. They do it different and they're not doing it wrong. They just do it their own way. A generator choosing to satisfy themselves over giving you the validation and recognition that you're starving for is not a bad thing. They're not doing anything wrong. If you want to be a successful projector, you cannot take those kinds of things personally. In fact, you should learn how to celebrate sacral generators who will selfishly follow their own sacral rather than doing the things that maybe you think is best for them. Which will lead me to step number 5 is you do not always know what's best for other beings. Just because human design says you're a guide does not immediately mean you know what's best for everybody else. Remember step number 4, we do stuff differently. And the last thing I want to leave you with is just take care of your physical body. All right, without sacral definition, it can sometimes be very challenging to know what your body needs, but understand that the basics will always be helpful. Get enough water, get enough sleep, get enough exercise, get enough sunshine. Spend some time in silent meditation. 5-10 minutes every day is enough. 30 minutes is awesome. Your mind will move much faster than your body does. And when you're incorporating human design into your life, again, your mind will want it to be installed a lot faster than your body can install it. So while your body and your mind are catching up to your ambition, just make sure that you're taking good care of yourself. And that'll do it for this video. If you have any more questions as a projector or any other type for that matter, feel free to leave them in the comments. And do me a favor, and if you enjoyed this, send it to a projector.